a very different question. In your experiment with school students, you spoke about dividing them into groups of friends and enemies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Who decides in that division who is a friend and who is an enemy?
Okay. Well, if you think about it, students, if you give the students the choice to choose their groups, they most likely want to choose their friends. So basically, I'm thinking that
And
we
how
can
do you
have
pick enemies? Okay, friends, it's understandable. You let the students
Friends.
choose, they're going to group up with friends. How about enemies?
enemies. Well, they might not be exact enemies, but as soon as
No, wait. If they are not exact enemies, then it means you cannot have an experimental work where you have groups of friends and groups of enemies.
well, since I'm already their teachers and
Who
like
decides, therefore?
Who decides?
Who takes that decision?
the teacher takes a decision because they've seen the students working together and they know how they work together or like who's enemy and who's not because like they said people don't like working
Can you
with
think of an
enemies.
experiment to find out whether they're friends, enemies?
Well, to find out whether they're friends or enemies, we can have maybe a trust fall exercise. If they're-
Maybe?
a trust. You know what trust falling is, right?
Okay.
Like basically they
Yeah,
put them-
trust and fall. Okay.
Yeah, and then the other person has to catch them, and if they're their enemy, they'll try very lightly to catch them, or they'll purposely let them fall. If they're their friend, they'll try their best not to let them fall. no
Okay.
matter how
Will
hard.
that be a foolproof way that you will say, right, everybody go through this experiment, and depending on that, I'm going to decide who is going to be in the friends group and who is going to be in the enemy group.
Well-
Is that fail-proof?
Well, no, you shouldn't tell them that you'd put them in the friends group or enemy group, depending on that, because then they'll purposely not catch them or purposely
Precisely.
catch them.
So
But
what are you likely to tell them?
I would just tell them today we're just gonna have a fun activity, relax. If it's like I can wait after a vacation, like first day of school or day before a vacation.
Okay. Second aspect of the same division. You said something about smart and non-smart.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
There are two ways of doing this. A, I decide I'm smart. My assessment of myself as a student. B, the teacher decides this is a smart person. Which one would you prefer as a student and why?
Well, as a student, I would probably prefer my teacher because if you grade yourself, then you're most likely gonna be biased because you are yourself. So you want your teacher to choose you because. You
What
are-
happens if the teacher is also biased?
Well, maybe there can be like a group of teachers who choose the smart or not smart. But if they're all biased, well, then there's nothing we can do about that. That variable is. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.